Okay, this is a review of the upcoming City Council meeting for December 19th, 2023. They publish these agendas usually the Friday before the meeting. Uh, so they Today is Saturday. I'm just going to go through it live with you guys, unedited, because otherwise, I just to see like if there's anything that really pops up. So consent action items generally are considered to be routine and acted on with one motion by the City Council. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless the mayor, council member, or city staff requests an item to be removed from the consent agenda for discussion. Items removed from the consent agenda will be placed on the regular agenda under business or as instructed by the City Council. So, let's see here. This is the agenda packet. So this goes into detail. And actually, you can just click right on it. That's pretty cool. That is nice. But did reset the zoom. All right. So this one seems to be a findings of facts regarding the comprehensive plan, rezone, and preliminary plat. Now, generally speaking, from what I've observed, is that if you go there and request, I'm not sure regarding action items, but you can contact your city council member or whatever, and if there's something that you want to publicly comment on, you can go ahead and do that. I didn't really. This seems to be I'm just trying to just go off of it from a large point of view. Leave in the comments if there was something that is something to be concerned about. Now these final plats, basically these had already been heard and approved by the city council, and they're just they call it the preliminary plat approval, and then that's when they got to get the roads finished and I don't know, sewer lines or whatever conditions of approval. And this is basically saying, or the staff saying, okay, they completed the basic infrastructure work. Now you can approve. I think that's when they get approval, or they've already assigned the tax parcel number. So it's usually pretty much done. This one, Resolution 95/2023, is just reappointing City Council, or sorry, not a Planning and Zoning Commission member. What's interesting about this is what they say about the current members. Mayor and Council, Dana Hennis has requested his reappointment to serve on the City of Kuna Planning and Zoning Commission. I don't know if I can zoom this any better, so you can read it too. But anyway, has served on the commission since 2012. Chairman Lee Young, the only longer-serving commissioner member, has opted not to request reappointment. Dana's long-standing service and knowledge are valuable for a planning and zoning commission with 3 relatively new commissioners and a brand new commissioner that will need to be appointed in 2024. Thank you. Now, because of the way things are set up, and it has been commented before that the planning and zoning commission, I it's kind of like a dress rehearsal for the actual final approval with the city council. So I don't blame it if you feel a little bit like, okay, what am I doing here? It's just our opinion doesn't really matter to the degree that the city council members weigh the recommendations, because they can actually overturn. So they're like, I guess, the first step, but you could almost basically not even have them. That was also part of that like 289-page development code rewrite. They wanted to give the Planning and Zoning Commission more power, so to speak. So whatever their decision was, unless the city council, like 50% plus one, wanted to overturn whatever the Planning and Zoning Commission decided on, then otherwise it just stands. So there was an attempt to give them a little bit more power, but I mean, yeah, you just if they're not directly elected and they're appointed, I mean, it's just it's as you can see, it's very difficult to keep them on board. It's not so you don't necessarily want to rely solely on them. Let's see. Resolution R96/2023, a resolution of the City Council, Kuna, Idaho, approving the statewide copier and printer contract lease agreement with Quadient Leasing. Okay, yeah, I don't think. I think we're fine. I think we're fine on that one. We agree. I would say that's probably pretty routine. Okay, public hearing. So these received presentations by project staff for up to 15 minutes. And then the applicant is allowed 10 minutes to present the project, and then members of the public are allowed up to 3 minutes to address the city council, with testimony restricted to the matter of hand. Okay, and also the applicant is allowed 5 minutes for rebuttal. Let's see. Business items. Consideration to approve Mayor Steer's recommendation to appoint Nathan Stanley as the Kuna City Clerk. Now, this one has its own backstory because I think it was around November, a month or 2 months ago, that they suddenly got dismissed the previous Kuna City Clerk, which had been there for, I don't know, total serving the city of Kuna, I believe, for a total of 16 years. There are some other issues, but I'm not going to comment on that. I don't know anything about Nathan Stanley, so. Yeah. Consideration to approve contingency funds for the, and my ignorance doesn't say anything because I'm relatively new to this. Consideration to approve contingency funds for the City Hall HVAC replacement up to $75,000. All right, yeah, you got to replace that skin hot. Or cold, sorry, cold. Excuse me, I'm a little bit, I'm not someplace cold, let's say that. Let's say ordinances, consideration to approve Ordinance 2023-25, action item, a municipal annexation and zoning ordinance of the City Council of the City of Kuna. Okay, so they have 2023-25, 2023-26, and establishing, so it looks like they are annexing a whole bunch of land. 2027, same thing here. 2028, same thing. These parcels. Some of them, this one's owned by Hubble Homes. This is owned by Wood Properties and also Kuna Joint School District. So it is a bunch of items. So let's see if we can click this and if they throw up a map. No, they don't. Just legal descriptions. Okay, so here it is. Here's the map. Off of Locust Grove and Hubbard. This is one of them. It doesn't look to be that large. And let's see what a lot of times the staff, they will just, provide their recommendations. So you can just kind of go off of that. Let me see if I can move this over. All right. Let's see how many acres. So R6 and R8 zoning. Okay, and then they're saying they're going to keep that R6 and R8. So they're not upzoning it, they're just keeping it as is right here. So this seemed to have already been. Actually, you know what? I don't know what the zoning is in with Ada County, but it doesn't seem to be very large. So they're proposing R6, R8. Now this is just to annex the plots. They're not saying specifically. Well, they're not trying to rezone it. I mean, these are. I'm not sure exactly how staff decides. Let me see if it says here how they decide. Maybe that'll be part of the discussion. Like, how does staff decide? And it could just be like when you look at the surrounding parcels, it's pretty similar. Okay, so there's that one, and then here's another one. Let's see if we can look at the picture. So this is off of Hubbard and Locust Grove Road. Okay, they're proposing R4. Okay, and I think the way this kind of works is like when they're trying to uh, when there's like a plot that they're wanting to develop, the landowner. In this case, this is Wood Properties. Wood Properties LLC, Jill S. Ray, David Ray. Um, like normally they would go through Ada County, but since it's unincorporated, but they give the first swing to Ada to because it's in the impact area of the city of Kuna. They give first swing to the city of Kuna, and I guess it's more of an administrative decision whether the city staff want to annex it or not, as it's touching a pre-existing part of the city. And I believe, yep, here it is. Here's that city limit, so it's touching it, and then the city of Kuna decides if they want to be incorporating into the city and having jurisdiction. So here you can see it's touching as well, part of the city limits. And if they deny it, then if they're like, nah, we don't want to incorporate it, or maybe they vote, the city councilmen vote and say, no, we don't want a part of it, then they go to Ada County and ask them to, regarding the rezoning or development requests. And more than likely, Ada County commissioners tend to be a lot more open to redevelopment. So this one is okay. We already saw that one. Okay, this one is Kuna School District, Wood Properties LLC, Patagonia Lakes Development LLC. Bunch of different parcels. It looks like. Yeah, looks like a bunch of different parcels here. Let's see if we can get the image. So here it is. Off of Hubbard and Locust Grove. So they're wanting to bring those in. And then Hubble Homes. And let's see what zoning they want for this one. They want a R6, R8. R6, R8. Let's see. It doesn't. Does it say the acreage? So once they get the zoning in, they're going to have to go back anyway to the city once they want to get the pre-plat approval. So basically, you're seeing this as kind of a pre notification that they're going to try and develop it to the R6 R8 level of development. Maybe that means like I don't just be R6 R8 likely is pretty on the higher side of the density. Okay, so here is another one wanting to go for C2 and R8 zoning. Get some commercial in. And this one is off of Locust Grove Road and Kuna Road. Okay, this one is pretty. This one is more interesting. Let me hold on a second. Let me double check my map here, because actually this is this one is, I have some. Kuna Road, Kuna Locust. Okay, no, it's not. It's not. False alarm. It's close to. It's getting close to areas that I'm particularly familiar with, but not quite. So there is a relatively new development just west of it, like a block, but yeah, they seem to be developing that just underneath it. The thing which is interesting is just underneath Kuna Road is the river. So there's kind of like an island, so to speak, um, that that seem that you have to cross like a river or the irrigation canal or a railroad track, and so for sewer lines and uh, sewer lines and gas, and it's just very difficult, very expensive to cross over those barriers. So it's almost like a locked in land area. So which one is the C2? So right here, right off Kuna, um, they're looking at trying to get some C2 out there off of Kuna Road. You can see this section right here. That would be C2. A little bit of commercial, as you are getting, it likely does need to get some commercial there. Okay, so I think, oh no, there's more. All right. Make sure. Yep, here's another one by AC3 Properties LLC. R6 zoning is their request, or is the request by staff. Okay, yeah, and it's just a small little section here, and it's contiguous. It is. You can see it's touching on numerous sides, so you have these little pockets. R6 likely is fitting with what is in the surrounding zoning as well. Okay, and I think that's it. That's the review. Anything? Are there any sort of red flags that I see? It's pretty straightforward. This one hopefully has nothing. Ada County last Wednesday had like a 5-hour and 12-minute hearing, and they had like 4 old business items that took, I think, 4 hours to get through, and then the new items took about an hour, which were like about 5 new items. But this one, I would assume these seem pretty straightforward. Just because you annex the parcel doesn't mean that the pre-plat will, get approved, because that's a whole separate process. But what it does mean is for the owners of these parcels, now they are zoned for R6 or whatever it may be, and their land just shot up in value because now it's zoned. Unless on the county level it already was zoned at a very high density. It's just I'm not. I would have to double check to see each one what the Ada County has it zoned, and that's not something I'm interested in looking at right now. All right, that's the review. Have a good one. Bye bye.